Go.
Hey, John Frainer here with the green truck, the 1972 Chevy C10. So we're going to start paint prep to paint the interior. My seat and carpet quick job has turned into pretty much a full-blown interior restoration. So here's what we're going to do today. And I've got Rose here helping me with the camera. Let me go ahead and steal that real quick. We have everything pretty much stripped out. We've got a lot of the interior stuff stripped out. These are coming out at some point, all the glass. And what we're going to work on today is filling in some of these areas that need some attention. Like here, somebody had a CB clip, so we filled that in. I'm going to smooth that out so it looks nice and smooth. And then down here between the patch panels we put in and some old speaker mount locations and just general warpage. Like I remember at one point I had like a starter or an alternator or something floating around in it. Of course on a turn rolled and dinged into it. So it's just that kind of stuff, just years of abuse. We're going to smooth this all out and get it nice and smooth for the fresh paint. Because I'm not going to add any kick panel to this. No molded speaker thing, no carpet. I'm just gonna, I like it. I like seeing the color of the paint, so I'm gonna leave it like that, but I want it to look smooth. Now I'm gonna leave some stuff just for grins. I've got these holes here where a long time ago somebody had a gun rack in it. It was either my mom or the previous owner that put that in. That's long since been taken out. But I'm going to leave them just for grins. I mean, it's just one of those things like that. There's just little stories behind it. So anyways, that's what we're going to do. So stay tuned. All right, so first step we're going to do is we're going to sand the area. We're going to start with some 150. We don't need to do 80. The bare spots have already been ground and sanded with a flap wheel. What we do want to do is get a nice texture for the Bondo to stick to on the bare spots and the paint. And I'm going to try this Duragold. I've got a couple different brands that seem really popular. I'm going to try this and see how I like it. It was one of the easier ones to get a hold of in bulk. And we're just going to do it by hand because of all these dips and stuff. We're not going to use a sanding block. We'll use that when we get to the actual filler part. We're just going to get down into these holes and make sure that the shine goes out of the paint. That way we know we got a good surface to stick to. Up in here we probably won't be seeing this a whole lot once the car's all back together. But we're going to get it just in case. So now we've got some other spots appearing. Get down in there. Alright, now we'll clean it all up. Okay, so now we're going to give it a good cleaning. I found this product, I don't remember what put me onto it. I just remember this was a highly recommended one. And so we got the high-tech surface prep. And this is supposed to be good for a final cleaning before you do your painting or body filler. So we're going to brush away all the really loose stuff, and then just give it a good wipe. Just want to make sure our body filler sticks really good.
Yeah, I've noticed that the wiping actually created it a darker color.
Well, it's because it's wet. Everything looks a little darker when it's wet. Okay, so we'll give it another pass.
Yep.
And we'll see how this looks. Alright. Let's give it another pass. Oh, you know what? I should put some rubber gloves on.
What?
So it doesn't get on my skin, cause irritation or, you know, cancer or something.
Ah.
It's just not good for you. All right, so we'll just keep doing this until we get it nice and clean. Now I imagine this is also probably strong enough it's going to pull a little bit of paint off. Well, we'll see how clean we can get it. Repeat this on the other side. So here I am jabbering away at you guys with, once again, no sound. At some point I bumped the mic plug on the pack that's clipped to my pants here. But basically what I'm showing you guys here is the body filler I ended up going with. It is the Evercoat Rage Ultra body filler, and then use the Evercoat 360 cream hardener with it. And I really liked it. I, again, am not a body expert. This is all new to me, but I did do some extensive research on what fillers were better than others. I didn't want to just run down to the nearest auto parts store and grab, you know, some just regular old Bondo off the shelf, and then a year later it's cracking and peeling and ruining my paint job and body work. So I did spend quite a bit of time researching what I needed and what brands were highly recommended. There was a lot of stuff out there. There's stuff that has fiberglass in it for filling in really deep areas. This stuff can be built up fairly thick. I want to say 1/4 inch is the absolute maximum. And most of the time where I was applying it was very thin, just filling in a little divot. Definitely did come close to maxing that out on the right rocker panel. But anyways, once you get this, you want to definitely make sure that you mix it up really good to make sure it mixes properly with the hardener so you don't have any issues with applying it. I did find this stuff very easy to work with. It spread really easy. Once I kind of got the technique figured out, it was easy to do it without getting any gaps or holes in it. And I really liked the way it changed colors when you were mixing. So this is some stuff that I got off of Amazon for working with the body filler. It's just go to Amazon and look it up. I'll put the link in the video as well, but it's called Clean Sheets, and it's a very convenient way to have a very clean palette to mix this stuff on and apply it, rather than some dusty piece of cardboard you got lying around in your shop. And you just, when you're done, you peel it off and you go to the next one, and it's super convenient and well worth the small price for it. But anyways, you just kind of, it takes a little bit of experience to figure out how much you might need for the area you're working with. You are limited to the working time, and I was just showing you guys there the mixing instructions were right there on the top of the can. But anyways, you just kind of scoop it onto the clean sheet there, and then you'll apply the amount of hardener based on the instructions on the lid. And again, I really liked how easy it was to get the proportions right. And the mixing, this hardener, it's blue, so it takes your pretty much white body filler here, and you end up with a kind of a sea green color once it's all mixed together, and you can really see once it's mixed good. So here's a few seconds later, and it's, as you can see, I've kind of got a very consistent color now. And from here, it's just a matter of getting it applied. It took me a little bit to figure out a good technique, but again, it spreads really nice, and you just kind of have to press it down into the metal. You want to try and avoid any holes and unevenness. Obviously, you're going to sand it nice and even, but the idea is to get it on there thick enough that you've covered all the dips, and then you can sand everything perfect from there. So here's a better angle of mixing this stuff. I love that my daughter had so much fun helping with the camera. But obviously she's not the best cinematographer so far. But you know, what do you expect? But we had a lot of fun doing this together. Anyways, as you can see here, you can see the colors a little bit better, and it starts off as very separate. You know, one white component, one dark blue component, and you just keep mixing it till you get a very consistent sea green kind of color, and then from there it's very easy to make sure you've got it mixed properly to apply. And then it goes from the sea green color to not quite white again, but it definitely does lighten a lot once it is dry. And it doesn't take long for it to do that, so that you can sand it. I want to say it takes anywhere from about 10 minutes to 15 minutes, just depending on temperature and humidity and all that jazz. And from there, we just finish applying it to the driver's side kick panel and get that all squared away and ready for the sanding step, which will be the next video. So stay tuned, and we'll show you how we trim and sand and sculpt it to get a nice flat surface. See you then.